With her vehicle damaged in the wreck and her husband's car with him at his mother's house in Maine, Emily packs a small bag and drives Grace's car. Along the way, several strange things occur. As Emily fuels her car at the first rest stop, she sees the most beautiful black cat. The cat has no collar, appears to be well cared for, is extremely friendly, and appears to be lost. Looking into its eclipse-shaped eyes draws her to the cat. She pauses to pet it after she fills up her car and before she goes inside to pay. When Emily returns, the cat is not there. As she drives away, she worries what will happen to such an amazing animal left alone in those conditions. She realizes that she feels a connection to the cat and wishes she had brought it with her. As the time approaches for her normal lunch hour, Emily stops at a diner in Worcester, Massachusetts. She notices the bum as she enters. He is speaking incoherently and positioned in an intriguing way against or near the wall. His hips are near his heels. His feet are firmly fixed on the asphalt, and he somehow places his back against the wall of the shop for leverage. Emily goes inside and is greeted by the staff and immediately seated at a booth near a window that looks out onto her mother's car. While eating, she feels as though someone is looking at her. In order to not make it so obvious she's doing so, and because she doesn't want to believe this crazy feeling that is overtaking her, she slowly looks over her left and right as she continues to eat. She tries very much to seem casual. Her eyes meets the bum's eyes as she gazes through the diner's bay window. It appears he's looking through her. Slightly startled, she looks away slowly as to not let the bum know that she has even seen him. Emily finishes her meal, and as is very common with her, she has leftovers. She asks for a to-go container, pays her bills, and starts toward the car. The previously incoherent bum stands up and turns his body into Emily's direction, and in a sweeping, confident voice speaks, "Trust your power." He then leans back against the wall and slowly slides down to the ground where he was before. Emily smiles and shakes her head ever so slightly up and down as if to acknowledge his presence. However, she does not understand the very clearly articulated yet seemingly random words because they weren't accompanied by additional context. Feeling no threat from the bum, she looks over her shoulder to the left and sees her car, walks toward it, and enters it. As Emily starts the car and drives away, she looks into her rear view mirror and she sees the tip of what appears to be a feather floating back and forth. Emily slows the car, pulls over, and takes a closer look. It's the cat. It snuck inside the car and has been traveling with her. She is excited to see it again and also happy that she now has a travel buddy. Emily removes the half sandwich she saved from the diner earlier and gives it to the cat. With a travel companion to keep her company, Emily drives the final 100 miles to her mother-in-law's house. As she enters town, she admires its charm. Slowly, she makes her way to Barbara's subdivision. Upon entering it, a serpent is crossing the road. Unlike any other time before, she's not afraid. Emily stops the car and looks through the windshield. The snake uses its muscles to raise itself into a defensive posture. Emily looks directly into the eyes of the snake, and then she speaks to it as if it's capable of understanding her. "Oh my, you wild one. What are you doing here? It is as dangerous for you as it is for us in this residential area. Find a safe place away from this place. Leave now. Go ahead. Cross the road." The shimmer of its scales resembled those of her newly acquired love for her black roses. The scales looked like a black velvet wet from dew, flickering in the light from her car's beams. The snake seems to obey. It turns its face away from her, goes limp, lowers himself, and crosses the street. Emily arrives at her mother-in-law's place and is generously greeted with hugs and kisses on the cheek. As the conversation between Barbara and Emily progresses, she quickly learns that Barbara knows nothing of her son's death. Barbara knows nothing of her mother's coma, and she doesn't know that she was pregnant and nearly lost her child. At one point in the conversation, Emily walks toward the door and looks in a manner that shows she is straining to find something. Emily realizes she left her new cat inside of her mother's car. She looks over her shoulder at her mother-in-law and asks her if she can let the cat inside. "Is it okay if I let my cat come inside?" Barbara smiles and she responds, "I don't normally allow pets inside, but I like to see the thing that made you stand in the middle of our conversation and gaze outside. Am I that bored?" Emily slightly blushes, laughs, and acknowledges that her actions were rude. As the cat enters, it rubs against Emily's legs and stays close. Barbara and Emily continue to chat and exchange pleasantries. Finally, Emily asks Barbara when she last saw Stanley. "Mom, when was the last time you saw Stan?" Barbara finds the question slightly strange and furrows her brow but answers. She thinks to herself, doesn't she know where her husband is? Barbara smiles, though she is slightly worried that she'll be dragged into the normal ups and downs of a marriage. Barbara pauses and thinks to herself that her response needs to be measured. She has vowed to never allow herself to become overly involved in the potential love quarrels of the two. She endured so much of that from her mother-in-law earlier on in her marriage. Barbara tries not to judge and provides a response to Emily. "He came to visit me 5 days ago on the 17th of October. Stanley said he was heading home on the 18th. The cat walks next to Barbara and purrs. Emily senses and somehow knows in that moment that Barbara is telling the truth. It is as if Emily can hear a subtle, affirming voice. Amazingly, she is not startled by the voice, and she does not think she is crazy or feel strange for hearing this voice. The voice is familiar, clear, and trustworthy. "Stanley has been working hard lately, and since I have not seen you in a while, I thought I would spend some time with you." "Does Stan spend any time with old friends when he's in town?" "He does. He usually spends time with me, and he also catches up with some of the guys he went to school with as a child. He went to a bar the night he stayed over. Sam's, I think." After chatting a while, Emily says it's time for her to leave. "Mom, it's time for me to go." "Nonsense. It's late. I enjoy chatting with you and would like to do it more often." She then asks where Emily's son, Donald, is. "Where's my grandson? I hardly see him and miss little Donald dearly." Emily grows sad but manages to hold it together. Today is October 22nd. Just 5 days ago, Donald died from injuries from the car crash. The cat hisses at Barbara and startles her. The cat then executes a double hop. He jumps onto the couch and then into Emily's arms. Emily does not know why, but she feels comfort holding the cat. "Donald is with my mom. She decided to visit the family." Barbara insisted Emily stay. Since the past few days have been so mentally and physically exhausting, it doesn't take much convincing. Dressed in Barbara's jammies, Emily falls asleep in Stan's old room.